Hello, everybody, and welcome to part 2 of our Essential Oils for Pets webinar. I am super excited to have you. There we go. Super excited to have you all here. What we're going to be talking about today is lumps and bumps, respiratory support, nutrition, which is my absolute favorite topic in the whole wide world, oral care, and emotions. So let's dive right in. All of these are super important for our own pets, but I think I had mentioned, if you saw part 1, one of the ways I got into using essential oils and natural nutrition and solutions is because I did a ton of fostering. My husband and I have fostered over 93 dogs, and that number is going to rise. This weekend we have several dogs being shipped up from Florida. They are going to arrive on Sunday, and I'm super excited about fostering them and helping them find forever homes. But sometimes they come with challenges. So one of the boys that I'm taking, his name is Loki. He's a big Newfoundland lab cross. He's probably going to come with some lumps and bumps. We've all had maybe lipomas, maybe sebaceous cysts in the back, almost like little pimples on their back. Bulldogs in particular get interdigital cysts, so all sorts of lumps and bumps. So how we're going to solve that problem is we have a couple solutions. And I'm actually going to bring a picture because I didn't want to share screen. I'm going to bring a picture up very close, so hopefully you guys can see this. So right here, Harley has a lipoma, and this is 7 days later after using this combination that we're going to talk about. She used this combination 3 times a day. She applied it topically. So what that was is cypress oil, which reduces any inflammation. Grapefruit essential oil is fabulous for detoxing the cells from fat, to removing that fat. I don't know if you remember years ago, we were all on the grapefruit diet, right? Because it was amazing to help our bodies excrete all that extra fat. And then frankincense oil. Frankincense oil is fabulous for cellular repair and cellular health. So if there's any type of damaged cell or abnormal cell, frankincense will help our bodies remove that. So these 3 oils, the way we're going to use this is 2 ways. Depending on the area and the size of your lump or bump, a friend of mine, Nancy Bishop, had a standard poodle who had a growth the size of a cantaloupe on her back and chest area. So in that case, it's easier to mix up in a spray bottle. So you're going to fill half of this bottle with fractionated coconut oil. You're going to add 40 drops of frankincense, 40 drops of grapefruit oil, and 40 drops of cypress oil. Shake it up. You're going to apply that 3 times a day. That particular standard poodle had very, very thick hair, so to really get maximum absorption, it's best if you can trim back that hair, even shave that area, or cut it very short. But if you have a golden retriever or Burmese mountain dog or something you don't want a bald spot, no problem. Just lift that hair up and spray it right so it gets right up against that skin. The second way that you can mix it up, like Harley, she had a smaller kiwi-size growth, is you can mix it up in a roller bottle. These roller bottles, you can buy them on Amazon. You simply take the roller top off, and again, you're going to fill half of this with fractionated coconut oil. This is fractionated coconut oil. All this means is this stays liquid all the time, as opposed to regular coconut oil that solidifies at cooler temperatures, so that your roller bottle is ready to use whenever you need it. So you're going to mix half half fractionated coconut oil. And then for a 10 ml roller bottle, you're going to put in 20 drops of frankincense, 20 drops of grapefruit, and 20 drops of cypress oil. Replace your little roller top, and it's ready to use. And apply that to that lipoma or growth 3 times a day. Of course, any lump or bump, you need to go to your vet and have that lump or bump tested, aspirated, analyzed to make sure that it is not something serious. But if it's a fat deposit, we've got solutions. So that's how you're going to mix that up. The other product that we gave these dogs is a product called DDR Prime. This is an essential oil cellular complex. And basically what this does is repairs cells that are not too badly damaged, but if they are, they help your body from the inside out excrete them. This really, really, really accelerates the lipoma dissolving solution. So this is a great product that you're going to add dietarily to your pet's food. 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. For a pet that's about 25 pounds, for a pet that's 65 pounds, a larger golden retriever, you can do 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. If your pet is under 25 pounds, we do have DDR Prime in an oil, and you can do 1 drop to 5 drops of fractionated coconut oil and apply that to your pet's abdomen area. So that's what we're going to do for lumps and bumps. Now, those interdigital cysts, you can use, those are more pimples or clogged pores. So for those, you can use lavender oil and frankincense oil topically with fractionated coconut oil if your pet will allow it. I do have one client, Melissa, and Petunia is not particularly fond of having her toes touched. So she'll mix the spray bottle and kind of from a distance spray it. All right, let's move on to respiratory. So another health challenge that we've all encountered, we've had dogs that have had asthma. Maybe they have trouble breathing because they've got congestive heart failure. One of my last little Griffs was 19 years old, and he developed congestive heart failure. But I was able to really keep his airways open, doing a couple different things. Number one, if it is asthma or seasonal threats outside or even congestive heart failure, start with your environment. Keep those windows closed. Keep your air conditioning on. Keep that pet cool because we don't want any labored breathing. It's very, very important. Our little Caesar very rarely ever left the house, and my friends all knew to bring their parka over because we kept the house at 68 or 69 degrees for him, so that he was never had any labored breathing. But as now for essential oils, we've got a couple different options. I'm going to bring them all out. So we talked a little bit in the last webinar about pets that are affected by seasonal threats, that pollen outside, ragweed, they've got hay fever, they've got those runny eyes that might cause a little bit of a cough or a tickle. The Tri-Ease seasonal soft gels are a great solution, and because they've made it super simple, in a gel cap, you can feed these internally. All these are is lemon, lavender, and peppermint. That is nature's Benadryl. Right before I got on this call, I got an emergency call. A friend's bulldog was out in the yard. They don't know if he swallowed a bee or got into something topically, but he was developing hives all over. This would be a great solution for her to have in her home, to give to him right away because those hives were appearing all over, she said. So that's a fabulous offer. Then we have diffusers. You can see we have our doTERRA diffuser going right now. And putting the Breathe blend, which is our respiratory blend. If any of you have ever used the the topical rubs like Vicks Vapor Rub, you know that that smell really, really opens you up. Your mother may have used it under your nose. The problem with using a synthetic like that is if you look at those ingredients, one of the inactive ingredients in that particular brand, and it is posted, you can look that up on the internet, is turpentine oil and petroleum oil, 2 carcinogens. We don't want those near our pets, children, or ourselves. So the Breathe blend is that peppermint, that wintergreen, everything that's going to open us up. So the Breathe blend is a phenomenal solution to breathe in aromatically, and that is what I used on Caesar, who had the congestive heart failure. We diffused Breathe every day in our home to keep his airways open. You can also use it in a roller bottle. If he was having a little more of a challenge, or if I took him out in his stroller, I put a little bit on my hand, rub my hands together, and rub it on his chest. So aromatically, he was breathing this in. 2 great ways. If you have kitties in your home, you're going to want to use a different blend. The Breathe blend has peppermint, not ideal for cats. So what we have found especially effective and useful for kitties is eucalyptus oil, cardamom oil, and lemongrass oil. 1 drop of each one of these in your diffuser in the home. Make sure the door is always open so the kitty doesn't feel that he can't escape if the diffuser becomes overwhelming for him, especially if you have a small room. You always want to make sure the door is cracked. But eucalyptus, cardamom, and lemongrass is amazing for cats. We do a lot of cat rescue as well, and the kitties come with horrible respiratory infections, runny eyes, gooey noses. So diffusing this in the air has been a wonderful solution for us. When they breathe it in, it goes into their mucous membranes, and it is absorbed into their bloodstream. So there's 2 options aromatically. If you feel that your pet has a sinus infection, you have any sort of discharge, yellow discharge, green discharge, by all means, of course, go to your veterinarian. We don't want to play around with that. But if you have these tools and you just start to notice a little bit of a dribble, then you can use On Guard essential oil on the pads of your dog's feet. 1 drop of On Guard, 1 drop of fractionated coconut oil. Put it on all 4 pads of your dog's feet. This is nature's antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral. My little Capone was blind. His nose was always to the ground. He was snuffing stuff up. Occasionally, he would get that drippy nose. This was my best friend. So I actually would diffuse On Guard and Breathe together. I would put 2 drops of Breathe, 2 drops of On Guard. That way, aromatically, I'm boosting his immune system, antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, and I'm opening up his airways. If he did have discharge, I would do On Guard on the pads of his feet twice a day for 7 to 10 days, just to make sure I knock out if there's something brewing. So that's aromatically. Then here's another little trick. So these guys that are coming up from Florida, a lot of times they do come up again with kennel cough. Sometimes the transportation period happens between 3 and 7 days by the time we pull them from a kill shelter, and that is the time, that's an incubation period for kennel cough. So sometimes we don't know it until they make it down to me, and then on day 8, they start coughing. So what I love to do to help soothe that cough is I'm going to do the On Guard and Breathe aromatically and topically for those dogs. I have these great little, silicone shaped cookie cutter, things. I mix coconut oil, just regular coconut oil, and Manuka honey. Manuka honey is known for its antibacterial and antiviral properties. So half coconut oil, half Manuka honey, and 1 drop of lemon in each one of these molds. Then I freeze them. These are popsicles for the dogs. And so when they start coughing, I put them out on the deck, I give them a popsicle, it helps soothe that throat, helps calm that cough. It is absolutely one of my favorite things to do, and usually in 2 to 3 days, those dogs have stopped coughing. So if you have any type of hacking cough. Now, if you have your own particular pet that starts coughing on occasionally, again, take them to the vet. Coughing can be linked to an enlarged heart disease, of course, any type of lung challenge. Your vet may want to do some blood work and a chest X-ray. You want to make sure that it is just a little bit of a infection that you're treating. You want to know what you're dealing with. Okay, so this is my favorite topic, nutrition. And it's really important to the health and longevity of your dog or cat. So years ago, during World War II, they invented kibble because it was sustainable. They needed to ship it overseas for the war dogs. Unfortunately, there's no live enzymes in kibble. There's no live nutrition. It is vital that your pet have live enzymes and live nutrition. If you think about it this way, we would never consider feeding our children cereal every day or processed food every day, the same cereal every single day. We would just never do that. We would make sure our kids had fresh fruits and vegetables and protein. The same thing goes for a pet. So diving back into when dogs were wild, they would kill an animal out in the wild. They would obtain bone, muscle, organ meat, and slight vegetation from that animal's stomach. And so we want to mimic that diet. It is called a BARF diet, a biologically appropriate raw food diet. I have fed a raw food diet for 30 years. All of my dogs have been on it. Some of my very, very sick rescues, for example, my lab we took when he was 11 was very ill with kidney challenges, severely anemic. The vet didn't think he was going to make it. We put him on a raw diet. Things turned around. He lived till he was about 17 years old. So they've made raw diets easy. You're probably going, raw? What am I going to do? Get hamburger from the grocery store? No. I want to show you what I do. So we've got a couple different brands here. We've got Stella and Chewy's lamb. I've got Stella and Chewy's duck. And I've got Primal beef. So if a dog were in the wild, they would never eat the same thing every day. They would, and it's important for our pets if you can mix it up. So Bella will get lamb for breakfast, duck for dinner, beef for breakfast tomorrow, so on and so forth. I will mix that up for her. The great thing about this food, it has everything she needs. It has lamb spleen, lamb liver, lamb bone, lamb heart, lamb kidney. It's got organic spinach, organic broccoli, organic beets. You get the idea. I can read every single one of these ingredients in here. It's not a chemical. It's not a synthetic. There's no additives or preservatives in this food. So you take that food out. This is what it looks like. You thaw it out. And hers are little nuggets. I thaw it out, and I feed it that evening. It's nutritionally complete. I add some extra greens for her. I add spinach, kale, and Swiss chard. If an animal were to get that in the wild, it would be slightly homogenized from their stomach. So you want to blanch that in some boiling water and run it through the food processor or chop it up very small. The reason that I add that for her is she's a rescue. She did come to me with some skin allergies and some ear challenges. So I want to provide her with oxygen. With any type of skin allergy or ear challenge, that is an immune response. It means her immune system is trying to counteract. And it also means that she has inflammation and she's hot. So in Chinese medicine, there are hot foods and cooling foods. To put that in perspective, a hot food would be like sweet potatoes or carrots. Those are all root vegetables that are available to us in the winter because they warm our system. But they also have a lot of natural sugar in them, which would feed yeast or cause her to be warmer. So I choose green foods, which are cooling in Chinese medicine. And I'm going to post in the link hot foods and cooling foods. So you're going to want to choose spinach, kale, Swiss chard, zucchini, cucumbers. Really anything green is amazingly cooling for her system. It also provides a ton of oxygen, so dogs that are anemic, it's a great blood builder. So that's kind of what her supper looks like. Then my particular dogs also get a digestive enzyme. So this is Terrazyme. I open a Terrazyme capsule and I sprinkle it on her food when she eats. What this is going to do for her is help her body break down the nutrients and absorb those nutrients and turn them into cellular energy. Very important if you have a geriatric dog or a dog that's underweight or having trouble absorbing. Dogs with pancreatitis do very well on the Terrazyme. It really helps them absorb those nutrients. The second thing that she gets every day, she gets this once a day, is the PB Assist. This is our probiotic. Very, very important for every human or pet on the planet. Our immune system stems in our digestive tract, and our digestive tract is also linked to our emotional behavior. So if our digestive tract is out of balance, if you're feeding a kibble, which is high in carbohydrates, there's probably a lot of yeast, candida, bacteria going on there. So she gets one a day. The great thing about the PB Assist, it enters the stomach. The first capsule, because it's double encapsulated, is a prebiotic and neutralizes that stomach acid, which allows the second capsule to get down into that digestive tract and release 6 billion CFUs. It also has chlorophyll in it, which is green, oxygen, amazing for all of our organs and our blood, which transport all of our cells. So the PB Assist is vital. If you have a dog that is older or has a health challenge, you're going to want to add in the lifelong vitality. My dogs, as preventative maintenance and care, all take lifelong vitality as well. So I'm going to, and the reason for that is, you know, if you are feeding a processed food or a kibble, then your pet is definitely nutrient deficient. If you're feeding cooked food, still a little nutrient deficient, but way better solution, and it's a much better solution than kibble or canned food. But the other thing is, I'm going to go through and explain to you why we want these, why we want to add these into their diet. So the Microplex, it's whole food, minerals, and nutrients. It is not a synthetic. It is not, there's no artificial fillers. I add one in the morning to her supper, and I add one in the evening to her supper. For a larger dog, you're going to do an adult size, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. 95% of most vitamins out there are filled with rocks and minerals. So they're not absorbable. They're not bioavailable to us or our pets. Also calcium, especially as your pet's getting older, calcium carbonate our bodies only absorb 5% unless it's in the whole food form, which this is. Very important. There's vitamin C, there's vitamin B, there's vitamin D in here. Broccoli, spirulina, all that oxygen again. It's just an amazing support for your pet. The second is the alpha CRS. So the alpha CRS is cellular repair and cellular energy. It's also a natural body cleanser. Again, like we talked last week, we can control certain things in our environment. We control how we clean, so they're not absorbing toxins. We can control whether we give them a filtered water. We can control what we topically put on them as far as shampoo or flea and tick control. But we can't control everything. I live on the water. My dogs swim. There's boat oil and gasoline and stuff in there. So this is a natural detoxification process for them. It also has milk thistle in it, which, as we know, is a great liver cleanser. And it's got boswellia, which is frankincense, my very favorite essential oil for your pets. And frankincense is known for its cellular repair and cellular regeneration, both topically and internally. And we want to start on the inside, because when you think about a car that is up north and it's going through all that salt that they've sanded with, it rusts from the inside out. We never see it until we open that door and the rust has finally come through, maybe in the cracks of the door. Same thing with our pets. We need to prevent that oxidation from the inside out. And so the alpha CRS is phenomenal for that. It also has turmeric and curcumin, both huge anti-inflammatories. Grapeseed extract with resveratrol, amazing antioxidant. CoQ10 and quercetin. Quercetin has known properties to help us combat allergies and seasonal challenges and food allergies. Just overall great cellular function. The last is the omegas. Every human or pet should be on omegas, regardless of their age, but especially geriatrics. We need to lubricate those joints, right? And the omegas are great for brain health. With the Exio Omega, it's plant and marine based. So it has fish oil, it has flaxseed oil, it has great sources of omega-3. It has borage oil, really supports hormone function. Astaxanthin, which is an antioxidant and an omega that salmon fish have, and that's what creates that red color in salmon. That's why you'll find that the capsules are a reddish color. They're just tiny little capsules. Also protects the cells. Just amazing. The thing about all these, especially your omega supplement, your fish oil supplement, is 90% of fish oil supplements out there have not been tested for heavy metals, synthetics, toxins, but doTERRA has tested them for all of that. So 90% of fish oils on the market do have heavy metal toxicity. So proactively, or at least if your pet is having a health challenge, you're going to want to add those to your pet's diet. And that is what really turned my Primo around the lab that lived so long, and Caesar, who was 19. You also want to feed in a stainless steel bowl or a glass bowl. Never, ever plastic. It harbors bacteria. So I think that's a good start for nutrition. You certainly can make your own raw food or your own cooked food, but to get all of those vitamins, nutrients, antioxidants that I had just mentioned, you are going to have to add a lot of different ingredients. So this is an easier way to get that for you. So now I'm going to bring out oral care. With oral care, and we're going to kind of link it to nutrition. If you're feeding a kibble, that's a carbohydrate, you're assisting in that plaque buildup, and the plaque will mineralize and turn to tartar. So again, not a fan of kibble. You want to make sure you wash your stainless steel water dish out and bowls. I use the On Guard because it's antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. So you want to make sure you wash that out at least twice a day when you're feeding breakfast and supper. The other thing that you want to do, if you don't have kitties in the home, you can add to your water bowl 1 drop per 2 cups of drinking water. So I'll put 2 cups of drinking water in here, add 1 drop. I use a whisk it all around. In the very beginning, you can mix up a gallon, really shake it up, and have like 8 cups per drop until your dog gets used to it. But what this does, the lemon oil changes the pH in their mouth and prevents the mineralization of that plaque. So it's going to prevent that tartar. Phenomenal way for oral care. The second thing that you can do, if you have kitties in your home, you cannot do that. Cats cannot drink any type of citrus oil or have it topically. They do not have the liver enzyme to metabolize citrus oils or wintergreen or melaleuca. So there's some safety tips for kitties. So the second thing I do is I mix up a toothpaste. So I get a little glass jar and I'll use 2 tablespoons of baking soda. And if you want to use an aluminum-free baking soda, if possible, of course, we don't want to add heavy metals. And so 2 tablespoons of baking soda to 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. If your coconut oil is solidified, just fill a bowl up with hot water, let it sit in there for a minute. It will liquefy, and then you can mix those together in a little jar, and you're going to add 5 drops of the On Guard blend. Again, this is the one that's antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral. Also, when we talk about antioxidants, you know, I might throw some blueberries in Bella's food, give her some antioxidants. Great source of antioxidants. Blueberries score 2,500 on the ORAC scale, the oxygen radical absorption capacity scale. Clove oil scores 1,078,000. It's off the charts, one of the highest antioxidants on the planet. Clove oil is in this On Guard blend. Amazing for oral health, for our oral health and our pets. Still to this day, dentists and orthodontists use clove with their patients. My daughter had her wisdom teeth removed and developed a dry socket. We packed it with clove. It is amazing for oral health and amazing for our pets. So what we do is we mix that up. So our coconut oil, baking soda, and On Guard. I love just to get these gauze pads. You can get them at your local drugstore. You wrap your finger around, and then I'm just going to dip this into my solution and then gently rub it on my dog's teeth. Phenomenal. I brush Bella's teeth every Wednesday and Sunday when I do her ears. It's kind of ear, teeth, brushing, combing day. So that's a great way to maintain your pet's oral health. If your pet does develop any type of abscess or maybe has had surgery, then clove essential oil is phenomenal for numbing. You can use 1 drop of clove to 6 drops of your fractionated coconut oil. Mix that up and just rub that along the gum line. Super helpful. Capone broke one of his molars, and he was really sore, and I saw that it was causing him some discomfort. So I rubbed that on his gum twice a day until the healing process took place, which was really only about 2 days. So that's a couple ways you can maintain your pet's oral health. And then lastly, we talked a little bit last time because we were having fireworks and things about emotional health. And as I said, a pet's, a human's emotional health is linked to their digestive tract. So making sure their digestive tract is in balance can really make a difference, whether they have fear, separation anxiety. But because I'm having all these rescues come up this weekend, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do with them, what's really going to help them get over the fear of being dumped in a kill shelter, the fear of being transported, going to the vet, they had to be spayed and neutered. They all had a lot going on in the past week or two. So I'm definitely going to be diffusing essential oils in my home. A couple of my favorites to diffuse, depending on what you have, are vetiver essential oil, very calming to the nervous system. Balance is a blend. It's a grounding blend. Serenity is our restful blend. I almost always diffuse Serenity. I'll tell you a story about that one in a second. Frankincense is one of the essential oils. The molecules are so small they can actually cross the blood-brain barrier and really calm the nervous system. Very effective for pets that have epilepsy. Very effective for pets that have been injured and have brain trauma. Maybe a car accident, hit by car, something like that. And then the last is lavender. Lavender is extremely effective with cats. Cats do very, very well with lavender. So we can use them 3 ways. Aromatically, diffusing them. When these rescues come up, what I will be diffusing aromatically will be frankincense, vetiver, and Serenity. I'm going to diffuse it in every room in our home. And I'm also going to make a spray bottle up. Make a spray bottle up of those oils and spritz this on their blankies to really help calm them and make them feel comfortable. That's aromatically. Topically, I have a great story. So my husband's foreman has 4 little dogs, and 2 of the Chihuahuas have been having some emotional challenges. One of them sees fairies and has been very nervous and standing at the bottom of the stairs, barking at the walls, not sure if there's a little doggy dementia going on. He has been put on all sorts of pharmaceuticals, Prozac, and it's just not working for him. So I gave him a sample of the Serenity oil. I told him to put it on the inside of his ears, Junior's ears, and also to put a drop in his hand and pet his chest. And to do that every 3 or 4 hours because their bodies are metabolizing this oil. Well, after 2 days, Dwayne came over last night and wanted to purchase a full bottle. Nothing has worked so well. The dog is so calm and relaxed. His other dog was just spayed, and they're trying to keep her calm so she doesn't pull out her stitches. And so, again, topically, they used it that way. So Serenity is fabulous. You can also have a little cotton collar. All of my guys, my little guys are going to get the little collars. I'm going to put a drop of Serenity on the cotton collar, put it over their head, and they'll be able to wear that. It's stretchy, so it's very safe. They can pull it off if need be. And my big guy, we're getting this Newfoundland Lab Cross. He's going to wear a bandana, and I'm also going to put the Serenity and some vetiver on his bandana to help keep him calm. And everybody will get a PB assist to get their digestive tract back in balance because we just never know what they've fed them in the shelters. So there's a couple more options for you. And I'm glad you were able to join me. If you don't have an essential oil diffuser yet, or if you don't have some of these oils, of course, be sure to get in touch with me and let me know. This particular month, you get a free diffuser, free wholesale membership, and 12 of the top essential oils, all the ones that we're talking about, the lavender, the frankincense, the On Guard, the peppermint, the lemon, the brie, the digestin for the tummy, all of those oils for $275. We also have a smaller kit where you get 11 essential oils for $150. but we certainly can help you get started. And I hope this was helpful. Feel free to shoot me a message on Facebook and ask me any questions, and I can talk personally with you then. Thank you very much.